Good morning, Mr. Castleton. I see we have Mr. Bloom on the screen.
Yes,
Mr.
Your Honour,
White.
and yes, I'm here too. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Thank you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Yes, we can.
Mr. Bloom, if at any time you have difficulty hearing any questions, please let Her Honour know.
Okay.
Mr. Bloom, I just wanted to ask you some questions about your travel over the decades to Belgium and back to Australia. Do you understand?
I object, Your Honour, only for the purposes of reviewing, if necessary, an application for a Section 61 certificate for the evidence to be given today.
Yes, thank you, Mr. White. I find that there are reasonable grounds for the objection, the same grounds as when the objection was made yesterday, and I grant the certificate for today under Section 61. The effect of the certificate is, as I said yesterday, none of the evidence that's given today can be used against you, Mr. Bloom, in any other proceedings, nor any evidence that that comes as a result of you giving the evidence today can be used against you. However, the certificate does not protect you from telling lies in court. I also make the same warning, or give the same warning to the media, that there's to be no publication of the fact that there's been an objection or that I've granted the certificate. And Mr. Bloom, I also want to remind you that you are on your oath or affirmation that you made yesterday to tell the truth in this court when you're giving evidence. I also want to remind the media that there is to be that it's a breach of the Court Security Act to take any photos of what you might be seeing on a screen on the live stream. Yes, thank you, Mr. Castleton.
Thank you, Your Honour. Mr. Bloom, would you agree with me, please, that from the 1980s through to the mid-2000s, you would, from time to time, travel from Australia to Belgium?
Yes.
And there was a period of time, was there not, in the early to mid-1980s that you resided in Luxembourg, correct?
Not 1980s.
Early 1980s to the mid-1980s, 1986, for example, was when you last lived in Luxembourg, correct?
Yes, correct.
And in those years after 1986, up until the mid-2000s, did you continue to maintain a bank account in Belgium?
No, sir.
Did you maintain any bank account in Europe after 1986?
No, sir, no.
Madame Flum says in her statement that you, in 2010, had a bank account in Belgium. Is that correct?
I had an account in Belgium earlier on. I can't remember. What year did you say?
In 2010, Madame
Yes.
Flum says that you held a bank account in Belgium. Is that correct?
No. I didn't have a bank account.
When do you say was the last time you held a bank account in Europe?
Oh, 19 about 1985 or thereabouts.
Did you have a bank account in Europe throughout the mid-1990s?
No, no, sir, no.
And you're certain of that today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to come now to some evidence you gave yesterday in answer to a question from Her Honour. At the conclusion of my examination of you yesterday, I asked you this question, Mr. Bloom. Would you like to say anything further in relation to the disappearance of Marion Barter? And you answered, no, what could I say? I then asked you, you don't know what became of Marion Barter? And you answered, I myself believe that she's still alive. That's what I believe, but I don't know anything about what she did or whereabouts or nothing at all. Then Her Honour asked you, Mr. Bloom, why do you believe Marion is still alive? To which you answered, because she, I can't tell you exactly when, but in a conversation before she went to England, she said that she wants to separate from her family. She didn't want anything to do with any member of her family. She was a bit of a strange person, to which Her Honour then asked you, can I just ask you, where were you when she said that to you? You answered, when she said that to me, it was in her place. Her Honour then asked you, in her house. You responded, yeah, in her house, yes. And then Her Honour asked you, whereabouts was that? And your answer was, sorry. To which you then respond, in Queensland. I can't remember the name of the suburb, but she said that she's had enough of her family and she didn't want, I was going to explain to Mr. White before, and then there was an objection shortly thereafter. Do you remember giving that evidence yesterday, Mr. Bloom?
Yes.
Can I ask you, are you able to give more detail about which visit it was that you had with Marion in 1997 when she said those matters to you? Was it the first occasion you met with her in Southport, the second occasion you met with her in Southport, or the third occasion that you met with her in Southport?
I can't remember.
And are you sure that she said those words to you in Queensland, or could it have been said to you in Wollongbar here in New South Wales?
No. It was at a place in Queensland.
And how did that conversation come about, Mr. Bloom?
I can't. It was in a general discussion, but I can't remember.
You can't give Her Honour any more context to how it was she came to say those matters about her family?
No. Can't.
Would you agree with me throughout the course of your evidence in this inquest, you have rarely descended into that level of detail in relation to your interactions with Marion Barter?
What did you want me to say?
Well, do you agree or disagree with what I've just suggested to you, Mr. Bloom?
About the discussion I had with her, I just said I remember that particular, thing that she said, but that was all. I wasn't, I wasn't particularly interested in anything of that kind. So I can't remember. I just that she made that point that I thought was probably a bit. I remember because it was a bit strange, but otherwise I can't remember where in a house or it could be in the lounge room, or I just can't remember.
And do you remember yesterday afternoon Mr. Smith of Council, who acts on behalf of Marion Barter's daughter, putting to you that evidence you gave to Her Honour was a lie? Do you remember that?
Yes.
And you denied that.
But it's not a lie.
Would you agree with me that if Her Honour was to accept the truthfulness of your answers to Her Honour's questions, I should say, that is important information?
I don't know. I don't know the importance of that, but it was just in a normal conversation. It wasn't, it wasn't it wasn't involving any project or whatever. I don't know. I just can't remember. I just that she said that. That's all.
But could you see, Mr. Bloom, today how that evidence that you gave in response to Her Honour's questions could be received as important information in relation to Marion Barter and her disappearance?
Yes, I can understand that, but I don't. That's so many years ago. I just can't remember.
Can I ask you this, please, Mr. Bloom? Are you able to explain why you did not volunteer that information to New South Wales Police when you first spoke to them about Marion's disappearance in June of 2021?
No, because they never ask anything about, and I just don't remember.
Mr. Bloom, you knew in June of 2021 that the police wished to question you in relation to your interactions with Marion Barter because she was a missing person, correct?
Yeah.
And if I can return to my earlier question, in those circumstances, why did you not volunteer the information to which you disclosed to Her Honour yesterday afternoon to New South Wales Police?
I can't have remember the conversation I had with the police. I just don't remember.
And do you remember on the 14th of September 2021 providing an electronically recorded record of interview with New South Wales Police?
Yeah.
And you did not, I wish to suggest to you, disclose to police then what you have said to Her Honour yesterday afternoon in relation to Marion's desire to separate from her family. Would you agree with that?
Yes, but I, 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 I didn't, I, I had no idea of the importance of it. It was just, you know, joking, and I, what can I say?
Well, if Her Honour was to accept your evidence, does it not provide some explanation as to why Marion Barter disappeared?
Yes, I have no idea. I don't know.
And my point is, why wouldn't you disclose that at the first opportunity to New South Wales Police or to Her Honour in circumstances where they are investigating the disappearance of Marion Barter?
Yeah. I me, I can't give you an answer. I can't.
On the 16th of February last year, Mr. Bloom, at the commencement of your evidence in relation to Her Honour's inquest into the disappearance of Marion Barter,
Yeah.
I asked you at transcript page 345 at line 18, question, if you could take it from me, please, that there is some evidence contained within the material provided to you that in mid-October 1997, that Marion Barter was located in Australia, safe and well, was starting a new life and did not want her whereabouts known. Do you know anything about Marion Barter wanting to start a new life and her whereabouts not to be disclosed? You answered, well, I read somewhere that the police in Queensland say that she went into a cult society. Question, I'm asking you whether you have any personal knowledge. Answer, all right, no. The question continues, any personal knowledge of Marion Barter wanting to start a new life and not having her whereabouts known? No, you answered. Question, I'm asking you, yes, understand, no. Now, was that not the ideal opportunity, Mr. Bloom, for you to disclose to Her Honour the conversation you allege took place between you and Marion Barter in 1997 in Queensland?
As I said before, I don't remember.
Well, you remembered yesterday, Mr. Bloom.
Yes,
12 months after those series of questions I asked you in February last year.
That's how it works in my head. Things. I do remember things now that I won't remember this afternoon. It's not. I'm not. That's so. My oh, my I don't remember, and some other times I remember something, but it has nothing to do with my willing of saying things or not. It's just it works in my head.
As I did yesterday in the conclusion of my examination of you, I asked a similar question of you on the 28th of April 2022, transcript page 705 at line 19. This is my question to you on that occasion, Mr. Bloom. Is there any additional information that you can provide to Her Honour now that could assist Marion's family and indeed New South Wales Police in locating Marion Barter? Answer, well, I wouldn't know where she is, but I never saw her. I never saw her after the day she came and picked up her boxes. I never saw her again, and as I said before, the police told me that she was living in a motel. Question, Mr. Bloom, if you can't provide any additional information in response to my question, please say so. Answer, no, I can't provide any more information. Question, you're quite certain of that? Answer, certain of that. Now again, was that not the ideal opportunity to volunteer the information that you volunteered to Her Honour yesterday afternoon in relation to Marion wanting to separate from her family?
I can't remember I can't remember most of the previous when I went to Ballina and then to Marion Barter. I just can't remember.
Could a reason that you only disclosed that information for the first time yesterday, Mr. Bloom, be because you in truth know more about the disappearance of Marion Barter than you have been letting on about throughout the course of this inquest, and you dropped your guard yesterday afternoon and made that disclosure? Do you accept that?
No, sir, no.
I want to suggest to you, Mr. Bloom, that you know more about the whereabouts of Marion Barter than you have been letting on to Her Honour throughout the course of Her Honour's inquest. Do you accept that?
No, sir, no. I don't know anything about Marion Barter.
I have no further questions, Your Honour.
Thank you, Mr. Castleton. Mr. Smith.
One question, Your Honour. Mr. Bloom, I asked a similar question to you at the end of my questioning in Byron Bay on the 29th of April last year. This is a transcript page 807 at line 41. I said to you then, I'm asking if you know yourself from your own direct personal experience what happened to Marion Barter after she came back into Australia on the 2nd of August 1997. Your answer was, wouldn't have a clue. Question, you say on your sworn oath to Her Honour you have no idea. Answer, no idea. Question, Mr. Bloom, if you do know anything, this is your chance to say it. Answer, yes, I know, but I would have said it a long time ago if I had anything to do. Question, you wouldn't have a clue. That's your evidence? Answer, no, I wouldn't have a clue. That was your evidence on the 29th of April last year.
Yeah.
Why did you not give the evidence you gave yesterday about Marion wanting to separate from her family when I asked you those questions last year?
Because you put me under such pressure that I have no that I don't remember. So sorry, I don't.
You didn't provide that information last year because you made up your evidence about Marion Barter separating from her family yesterday, didn't you?
No. I never made up story. never. But but my 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 head doesn't work like yours. I I have problems, and it's I can't help that.
You know, don't you, that I act for Marion Barter's daughter, correct?
Yes.
And do you accept that Marion Barter's daughter has been looking for her mother since 1997?
Well, if she's if they have no contacts, it's nothing to do with me.
And in light of the fact that Marion Barter's daughter has been looking for her mother since 1997, is there any further information you can now provide about what happened to Marion Barter, to her honour?
I can't provide. How would I know? I don't know. You know, uh, she was living her life. I wasn't saying her. I wasn't. What do you want me to say?
No further questions, Your Honour.
Stop.
Ms Burke?
No questions, Your Honour.
Mr White?
I have no questions, Your Honour.
Nothing arising, Your Honour. That concludes the evidence of Mr Bloom.
Thank you, Mr Bloom. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honour.
All right. So,
Your Honour, if I could move to some administrative matters. And I understand that the documents that I'm about to tender have been distributed to the parties. In no particular order, could I firstly tender two photographs of Mr Bloom that were shown to Madame Donois, where she identified the individual contained within the documents as Mr Bloom.
Yes, those photos will be Exhibit 25.
Please, Your Honour. The next document is a letter from Marie-Christine Landry in French with a English translation.
It'll be Exhibit 26.
Next, Your Honour, is a two-page statement from Alison 1L Sandy dated 1 June 2023, which annexes the announcement of engagement between Ghislaine Donois and Frederick de Hebervary.
Thank you. That's Exhibit 27.
I please the Court. Next, Your Honour, can I tender the English translation of the announcement of Ghislaine Donois' engagement to Frederick de Hebervary?
Exhibit 28.
Thank you, Your Honour. Next, can I tender a 9-page statement from police investigators, including various annexures to that document?
Exhibit 29.
Your Honour, could I just say that I haven't seen that last document that was tendered. Exhibit
I withdraw the tender, and I apologise to Mr. White. I was under the misapprehension that my learned friend had been provided with that document.
Yes, thank you.
I'll make arrangements, Mr. White, for that to be emailed to you shortly.
Thank you.
I'm in the same position, I think, Your Honour.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
And no doubt Ms. Burke may or may not be in the same position. I'll undertake to email that to all parties, Your Honour, for consideration.
It was coming from us, I think, Your Honour.
Oh, was it?
So I have no objection.
Thank you.
Next is a letter from my instructing solicitor dated the 16th of February 2023 to Mr. Michael Simons, Executive Director, Forensic and Analytical Science Service, and various responses to that.
That's Exhibit 29.
I think that might be 30, Your Honour.
I think the previous 29 was withdrawn.
I withdraw.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm sorry. Can I say that I haven't seen Exhibit 20, what is now Exhibit 29?
The letter
All right.
dated the 16th of February.
I withdraw the tender.
We'll withdraw that? Yeah.
And, pardon me a moment. What else? What have they been? It's just those two. Nothing else. Your Honour, next is a letter from Dr. Stephanie Hales, Hales, to my instructing solicitor dated 16 March 2023, totalling a number of pages.
Thank you. Exhibit 29.
No pleasure, Honour. Your Honour, can I propose this course? If Your Honour would be minded to take a short adjournment to enable my instructing solicitor to email to interested parties the two documents over which they've not seen, and also to enable my instructing solicitor and counsel to confer in relation to the proposed timetable in relation to submissions.
Certainly.
Perhaps 15 minutes
We'll
to
resume,
enable parties to consider the proposed documents to be tendered.
resume at 11 a.m.
No, please, the Court.
Silence, please, or stand. please, or stand.
Your Honour, thank you for the time. Can I just clarify one matter so there's no confusion? Your Honour marked as Exhibit 29 a letter from Dr Stephanie Hales of 16 March 2023 that contained a number of annexures. The first annexure was a letter dated 16 February 2023. I did in fact seek to tender that and I withdrew that. What had occurred was that the covering letter of 16 March 2023 had been inadvertently removed. The only matter to tender then is the statement by a New South Wales police investigator dated 30 May 2023, which I understand has been distributed to the parties. That completes
That will be
the
exhibit
documentary tender
30.
30.
Yes, thank you.
The final administrative matter, Your Honour, is to propose a timetable for the exchange of written submissions arising out of this tranche of Your Honour's inquest. Can I hand to Your Honour a proposed timetable that's agreed amongst the parties for Your Honour's consideration and approval?
Yes, I approve that timetable.
Thank you. Parties have a copy of that, Your Honour.
Thank you, Mr Castleton.
Well, Your Honour, that concludes this aspect of Your Honour's inquest into the disappearance of Marion Barter.
Thank you. Unless anyone has anything to raise at this point,
No, thank you.
no. I will adjourn.
No.
I thank the legal representatives for their cooperation, and we will adjourn for findings on a date that will be advised to parties. Thank you.
No, please, the Court.
Silence, please, or stand. Ms. Cosgrove,